This is Natural Powerlifting Radio. Deadlifts, chicken nuggets, video games. This is Check My Total, a powerlifting podcast with Timothy Payne and Andrew Hinson.
Welcome to another episode of the Check My Total podcast, and this episode is going to be pretty fun. We're going to kind of cover some of the people that went to Collegiate Nationals this past weekend up in Ohio. We have with us Richard, who was on the podcast before, and we have his fiancee Lisa, who competed. And what school were you representing, Lisa?
FIU.
Okay, what's that stand for?
Florida International University.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's in Miami.
Okay,
I know you guys aren't from here, so you probably don't know like the cities, but Miami's the main city.
Okay, cool. Is that a big school?
It's like one of the only public schools around. So yeah, it's not a big school compared to like other schools.
Okay.
Yeah, UM's a little bigger, but it holds its ground.
Okay.
It's well known, at least.
And we also got Marshall Powell here. Maybe.
I'm here.
He's here.
I'm here.
He's here.
I'm with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of... I forgot the letters. What is it? Is it UNCA?
Yep,
No.
that's it.
Oh,
UNCA.
UNCA. The
You got
president of UNCA Barbell.
Yes, sir. Or at least what's left of it.
So you're coming out of where? UNCA is North Carolina, I'm assuming?
Yeah, North Carolina. It's in Nashville.
Up in the mountains.
Up in the mountains. Okay.
Well, Marshall, we have Richard, who was part of our podcast with Doc's Powerlifting. It wasn't that long ago, and we have his fiancee Lisa, who competed up in Ohio this past Saturday.
Wait, so he was there too? You're saying, Marshall?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was there
What was your
too.
weight class?
I was in the 93 weight class,
Ah,
so I
okay.
went on Sunday morning.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, how they do the weight classes and like how many days was it?
It was a total of 4 days. So
No, it
first
wasn't
day.
4 days.
Yeah, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they finished off on Monday.
Oh, that's right, Monday.
So it was a total of 4 days.
Oh,
Did they throw everybody together, or was it like women the first 2 days and then men the second 2 days?
No, there was a point where men, I think the 72 girls were with all the equipped lifters or like some raw lifters of men.
Yeah, and the 74 is also, if I'm not mistaken, competed on Fridays
Yeah.
with some of the lighter girls as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it was mixed. They just try to get everybody in. But ideally, I think it was like from lightest male to female ratio on one day, and the next day it gets heavier, and then heavier and heavier. That's what it seemed like. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like 5 platforms, so really not sure.
Oh wow. What, were they all 5 going at the same time?
Yeah, so it was like hard for the host to keep up, but he did a pretty good job. So
Oh, yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of platforms going.
I kind of liked it because it was like less pressure.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So are all 5 platforms like? Can everyone see all 5, or do you have to go to like a different room for all?
No, they were all like in a straight. Like they were all like a. How do you?
Yeah, they were all right next to each other. It was one big platform, and then the 5 platforms were side by side.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
and
each had their own camera, so you could live stream each one of the platforms, and yeah, they were just running them.
yeah,
It was pretty impressive how fast they were running those flights.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
and then I feel like eventually they got lazy. They got tired as the days went by.
So did they do it at Ohio State?
No, it was at the Hyatt Regency.
Okay. So I guess they just rented out a huge conference room or something. Well, not conference
Yeah.
room, but I guess a few of them. If they have
Yeah.
those divider wall things they can take away.
Yeah, it was
They
pretty
did
big.
that, and they had they basically took all the kilo plates out of all the local gyms. So There was a lot of weight there.
That's
Well,
pretty cool.
how'd everybody's traveling go?
Yeah,
It
how
was
was
good.
the?
It was like
Did y'all fly or drive?
I flew. It was like a 2-hour flight, so I didn't have to. My body didn't suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I was in the car for 8 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but see, your drive was easy.
Balling on a budget.
Your drive was only 8 hours. Our drive would have been 16 and a half. So I was like, ooh, that's kind of.
Ooh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I would not recommend a 16-hour drive. That'd be terrible.
I would have done it, but I wasn't competing, so I wasn't gonna put her through that.
No, definitely not. That tight hips, not good.
Yeah. What time did y'all arrive? Like, did y'all get there a day early or the day of?
We got there like 2 days early, so we came back. We got off the flight at 12.
Okay.
In the middle of the night, so it was on Thursday, and then Friday we had the whole day to kind of just relax, just not overeat too much. Because I mean, I was fine with weight, but I just wanted to make sure I was still like a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marshall, what'd you do? You drive up the day of?
No, there's no way I'm waking up that early. We actually drove up 2 days early, so I got there Friday afternoon. So then I had that Friday and then pretty much all day Saturday to just kind of chill and watch the other lifters. And then I lifted Sunday morning. But I was also not really worried about making weight. I ended up being about 10 pounds under.
Nice.
Hey.
What was the range for your weight class?
So it would be anything above 83 kilos, which is about 182.9 pounds, all the way up to 93 kilos, which is like 205.
Is that your first nationals?
Yeah, that's the biggest meet I've been to by a lot.
Are you planning on doing raw nats in October?
Definitely not this October, but maybe next year. Probably next year.
Did your fiance Marshall go with you?
Yeah, she did. She drove the whole time, so I could just kind of relax and not worry about it.
Well, that's nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Also,
really
I think
nice. wouldn't have
she
done
doesn't
that.
like being in the car whenever I'm driving.
Why, you drive fast, Marshall?
No, it's the opposite. I drive slow. She's the one that drives fast.
Oh, so she's
That's why
always
she was
hounding.
driving.
So you said 8 hours. It was really about 6.5.
Yeah, she put that pedal to
Right.
the metal. No, that's cool. Lisa, what weight class did you compete in?
I was in 63, so my cutoff was 138, and I weighed in at 133.75 or something like
Oh, so
that.
you had plenty of room. Plenty of room.
Yeah, I was one of the lightest girls in my weight class.
Well, how'd it go? How'd the meet go? What kind of numbers did you hit?
Everything went good. I got 7 out of 9.
Nice.
So I mean, that's normally how I normally do in most of my meets, 6 or 7 out of 9. I always end up missing my last lift of each. I mean, last attempt of each lift, which ideally that's good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to miss your second attempt, because then you got to redo it, you know.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Yeah. So I got 281 squat. Didn't get my last attempt, which was 286. We were gonna go higher, but it just wasn't there that day. And then bench, I got 132, which again it wasn't there. So we tried to hit 137, and I didn't get it. So
But those deadlifts, though.
yeah, deadlifts came through. I probably could have gone a little heavier. I ended up with 325.
Dang.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Not
just
to
some solid
mention
numbers.
that was about a 45 pound. It was from what, 275?
No, it was a 50-pound PR.
About a 50-pound
Hey.
PR
Yeah.
Wow.
from last meet. So
Just on deadlifts.
That's good though.
That's really good. That's a lot of weight. Wow. That's a strong deadlift.
Yeah, I switched to sumo, so I think that's why it transferred over more nicely than conventional.
Yeah. Have you been training sumo just up until this prep, or?
Well, I trained for sumo before, and I always trained like not a long time because of like pain, like hip injury, groin injury.
Mhm.
So this time I sumoed a lot wider than the last time, and I think we're 3 weeks out. It wasn't that long. Richie said he wanted to pull sumo, so I was like, all right, I'll pull sumo with you, even though I have a meet coming up, or whatever. Let's just do it. So I ended up PRing like crazy that day. So I switched.
Wow, that's really cool.
That dog's powerlifting. You just change your stuff 3 weeks out.
Well,
Yeah.
no, the thing is, she does have, like she was saying, her weaker chain would be her hip, her groin. So I try to keep her on conventional the first 8 to 10 weeks of the block, and then once we start getting to the heavier weight, higher percentages, we'll go ahead and start putting her into her competition mode and just trying to dial everything in, make sure everything's good on their sumo, because their sumo is strong. So I just try to keep her, conservative, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Longevity, right?
Yeah, definitely
But-
longevity, because if you, like for me, I can't sumo for a long period of time. It just won't work. I mean, I could lift conventional, and I know that it's going to be a lot lower, but then I have to trust that it's going to be there when it's time to switch over.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's smart. I mean, if you know you have like injuries and things get irritated and broke if you train one way for a long period of time, then it's better just do it in little short bursts when you know you can do it.
Yeah. And what about you? Marshall? What do you do conventional or sumo?
I'm 100% conventional. I've spent a couple weeks trying to learn sumo, and it's just it's a losing battle. It's not for me.
Whenever you try it, how long does it last?
I think the longest time I've spent was maybe about 8 or 10 weeks.
Oh, you got me.
And then just kind of gave it up.
Yeah, every I'll try it. It'll last about 3 weeks. And I'm like, nah, I'm going back to conventional. Try it a couple months. It'll last like 2 weeks. Nah, I'm going back to conventional.
Yeah, I actually like conventional.
But my conventional has never been an issue. So, it's always just been so much stronger for me that I've just stuck with it.
Yeah. So what was your top sets at this meet?
Oh man, Marshall, go
yeah.
ahead.
It's a sensitive topic. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about that yet.
Man.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Unfortunately, I did bomb out.
Oh no.
It's sad.
Oh wow.
But I'm over it.
Sure you are.
But the weights I would have hit if I had made my attempts. I had a 518 first deadlift, which got called for downward motion at the top, just because I think it went a little too fast. I think I maybe should have not been as scared to pick a heavier opener. So we jumped right to 551, which would have been just a little baby PR, but I still knew I could hit it. And that one got called for a soft lockout, which I think is debatable. If you watch the video, I don't think it looks like a soft lockout, but it still got called. And then after that, it was just,
your hips are forward.
Yeah,
I think they said it on the I think they called it on the shoulders, but everyone that I've shown it has said that it was fine. But, that's just kind of how it goes with a big meet like this. It's going to be, the strictest standards possible. So.
Yeah.
And what was your third attempt?
I was going to make the jump to 573, but I decided to change it at the last minute to try 551 again, just to make sure that I could get it. But that one, I think they called for a foot movement.
Oh, wow. It's all technicality. That's like the word.
Yeah. I didn't lose anything on strength. It was just technical reasons. So I'm not, I'm not entirely disappointed with how I did.
So
I
that so
mean,
that's where you bombed out, just on the deadlifts.
Yeah, everything else went fine.
Oh, okay.
What was your squat?
My squat was 402. I almost had 407, but I kind of lost balance at the top. Had to take a step.
Okay.
And then bench ended with 330.
hey,
I think I should have gone 336 because 330 just moved super easy.
man, Marshall, your bench press, man, it's getting there.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, bench went fantastic for this training block, so I was really happy to hit that.
What you been doing for your bench, man? Have you just been eating more?
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, eating a lot. I got to fill out my weight class somehow.
Yeah, there was a lot of lifters that just kept opening up way too heavy. That when they got to the heavier weight, they were surprised that they didn't get the lift, you know? So I was talking to one of the meet directors, and he was telling me to just open really light and save most of the energy for your second and third. Even second, he was saying to just go like 90%, maybe a little less, just to focus on like hitting like huge PRs. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah. I
How
think
many-
bench is the one lift in the meet that has the most variables that go into it, especially things that are different at a meet than they normally are in training. You know, especially like if you're doing a weight cut, bench is normally the first one that takes a hit.
you think
So that's
so?
always
I
the
think
one that
it's
people.
squats. I think squats.
Really? You
would
think
do
so?
it. Yeah, because you know that, like, for me at least, I did a 10-pound cut in like 2 weeks. I went down to 57 kg, and I only got my opener. So I was lucky that somebody told me to lower my opener since I cut weight.
Huh.
So I
Yeah,
was lucky.
I could see the squat being affected. For me personally, I'm with Marshall. If I start dropping weight or something, my bench is generally the first thing to go. My
Wow.
deadlift, however, doesn't really get affected too much.
Yeah, deadlift doesn't get affected for
In
me.
my defense, my bench is trash anyways, so it's definitely the first thing that gets affected. But I do like my squats. I've always loved deadlifts, but for some reason I feel like I progress the most on my squats. So that's something that no matter what, it's kind of always there for me.
Yeah, it's just kind of there.
But I've been trying to do it a little smarter this time around, and I've been trying to maintain like maybe around my weight class cutoff or a pound over. And luckily, I've been holding my weight down, so I'm kind of cruising through those weigh-ins, nice and healthy.
Yeah, man, Marshall, man, he made a post about his bomb out, and he posted the deadlifts, man, and oh man, the soft lockout one, I don't know, I don't know, it looked pretty fully locked out to me, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, and as a dude that's judged like 12,000 deadlifts, all of those look good, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I actually, a friend of mine sent it to a South Carolina state judge, and she said it looked fine, and there was no soft lockout. So, you know, I think it was just one of those things where I got unlucky, you know, and maybe they're trying to be, you know, extra strict because it's a national meet or whatever. I think it was just kind of
Right.
one of those things that could have gone either way, and it just, you know, it was just bad luck.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people talking about it, but I personally didn't witness any strictness on me. Probably because I just like followed the rules, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Marshall, you're not following the rules, Marshall.
But no, I mean, I guess I got lucky too. I guess I don't know, because I remember in one of my bench attempts, I hit the rack like to rack it. I hit it coming up, so I thought that they weren't gonna give it to me, but it didn't affect my lockout, so I guess they gave it to me.
One of her deadlifts also, if I want to say it was her first attempt, she was so excited. She pulled it off the ground so fast. When she came down, and we saw it in the video, it was 2-1. She got the lift 2-1. But when I asked the side judge, what was the red light for, he said, she jumped command. What command? The down command. We looked at the video, and his hand, he said down, and she came down, but his arm wasn't all the way down. So I was like, oh my God, are they going to call it because of that? And luckily, we got it 2-1. I was like, all right, cool.
Oh.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's
I've
some
actually
tic-tacky
gotten
stuff.
I've actually gotten a really nasty conventional deadlift that, like, I don't know how they gave it to me in my last meet. So that was pretty cool that they gave it to me because it was so grindy and it looked kind of like a downward motion at one point. So.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to. I mean, those judges, like, I mean, I don't know how often they switch them out at those competitions, but they're liable to be up there for a decent amount of time if they can't get them, if they don't have enough judges or something. So I guess every now and then you'll get someone like Marshall who just gets unlucky.
Yeah. I was actually happy. Well, not happy.
Well, I think it also depends on the referees, and the judges as well. Because some of them, I don't know. I felt like some of them were calling things that were good. Like good. I saw a couple squats that were very, very nice, and they'd still get red lighted. I was like, what?
I mean, are they all still sitting there stiff with their suit jackets on?
There weren't that many suited lifters.
Well, I mean the judges.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
some of them were.
If you don't get out of that chair and look around, you can't see what's going on. That's one of my gripes with USAPL is they stay rigid and upright in their seat, and like I said, they're usually wearing suits.
Yeah.
So you're not even in the right position to make the call to begin with.
Yeah,
But that's just.
I know a lot of times you got to get down on the floor to like see depth and stuff. So like, and especially with a bunch of spotters around you, I don't know how you sit. I don't know how you just sit in a chair sometimes and can make the call like that.
Yeah.
But I guess it might look unprofessional if you were having to get on the floor or something. I don't know.
I'd rather get the call right, man.
I know. This is my thing. Since I've judged some competitions before, and my thing is like every lifter has a white light until they do something that doesn't give them the white light.
Exactly.
Like I know a lot of people at Iron Boy, they're not like, oh, everyone starts out with a red light and then if they don't do everything perfect and like to the T and in the most obvious form ever, then we're just gonna smack them with a red.
The way we teach our people is exactly what you said. You got white lights all day. You got to be as unbiased as you can when you're sitting in the chair.
Very true.
So I don't
But
know.
yeah.
You gotta get on that floor, man. That's what you gotta get in the floor to see the squat depth, man.
And Marshall, as far as your deadlift goes, your shoulders are rounded, but you're standing erect. Like your shoulders are still back. You're just in a rounded position, which is fine. So I really don't understand what they were looking at.
It might also have to do with my head being forward, because with my deadlift at the top, I always end up with my head forward instead of up,
Right.
Which is fine, but it kind of makes my shoulders look further forward than they are.
Right.
Which maybe that's something I just need to fix in the off season to really kind of oversell the lockout position.
So when you got your red lights, were they all 3 red lights or just 2?
It was just 2 on I think actually the whole day I never got any red lights from the front.
Okay.
They were always from the side judges.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, but all of those deadlifts were 2-1, just red lights on the sides.
Well, at least they were consistent, I guess. Both the
Hey,
judges.
She
Yeah.
hasn't posted none of her videos yet, so I'm letting her be the first one to, go public with her videos. I've been dying to post her deadlifts, but she's like, no, you gotta wait till I do it. I was like, okay.
No, I never said that. He could post it, but I'm not posting it right now. That's all. Because my phone is broken. Like it doesn't let me post videos right now. Like the top of the screen on Instagram, I don't know what's up with it. It doesn't work.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I'm not taking your credit. You gotta post that,
That's true.
right?
So
If
how
I
do you?
posted before her, it's gonna kind of be like I took that ownership. That no, I can't do that.
So how do you even qualify for this competition? Do you have to like show them your student ID, or do you have to go with the team?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if you could go alone because I did hear that there's some individual lifters, but they're also like full-time students. But I'm really not sure. But
Yeah.
I did represent my school. And yeah, you have to show proof of enrollment and you have to qualify for nationals.
Okay.
So you got to do a local meet before.
Okay. Do you have to hit a certain total at a local meet, or do you just have to do a local meet?
Yeah, I think for nationals the qualifying total is really low, so
Okay.
most people should be able to get it.
I heard a rumor while I was there that the qualifying totals were raised significantly for next year.
For raw nationals, yeah.
Yeah, well, also for collegiates, because they
Okay.
had, I believe it was on Thursday that they had like the collegiate body meeting where they would have voted on that. So I don't think they've released like the results of that. But I did just hear a rumor that they were raising it significantly for next year.
Yeah, probably to like avoid such a big meet, maybe. I'm not sure.
Bring more competition out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we want to do raw nationals now. I don't think I've competed in an open meet yet. I've always done junior, and then I was a guest lifter because I did a super total. So I would have been in open, but since I didn't compete with my weight class, they put me as a guest lifter.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when's Raw Nationals?
In October, I think.
Oh, that's the one in October. Okay.
It's usually the same exact weekend as ours. That's usually how it rolls out.
Oh,
So for me, I haven't talked to Brian about it yet. Brian's on a cruise right now.
he's cruising away.
Yeah, him and his girl made a 5-year anniversary, so they're out there having the time of their life. But
Where are they cruising to?
I have no idea. He did tell me. I'd be lying if I told you.
If you don't listen, that's fine.
But he's probably gonna find out through this podcast. But me and him are probably not gonna be doing the same meet anymore. I think I told you we were gonna do the same one in August. I'm looking at one. We actually brought the notebook so we could look at the calendar and everything. Looking at one in July so that I could go ahead and qualify for Raw Nats in October. So it's basically a 28-week total, and I'm gonna break it down into two 24s, or 2 12s, 2 13 weeks with some deloads in between. But yeah, we're trying to come on that national stage. On that
Nice.
national platform.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to watching y'all. I think it'll be fun.
I think if he just doesn't meet, he already qualified with the numbers he has now. And for me, I would need to work a little harder. So,
How much more do you have to go, Lisa? How much more of a total?
I think right now I have like a 730. What do I have?
It's like a 734, 736.
735, I think. Or I don't know, 740 something. I know I have like 60 pounds to go. Because that's when they changed the rules of Raw Nationals being more competitive. I mean, I could drop weight and all.
I guess that kind of depends on how you feel. I don't know.
Yeah. If I drop weight, I will be able to like qualify, but I don't think I want to do that because then I would have to do that same weight class for nationals.
So, how tall are you, Lisa?
I'm like 5'2".
5'2".
So I'm pretty short. I'm pretty heavy for my height, I feel. He says perfect.
Oh
man, look at Richie over here pulling the romance. Pulling the romance.
I don't know, I feel like that's kind of short, like to be weighing, because I walk around like 135, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't know anything about women and weights, like how much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get into that, man.
No, for
I stay out of that, man. I stay way out. I don't get into that.
For powerlifting, that's.
I don't know anything about
light.
women. Andrew Hinson, 2019.
I don't know anything about women, man. I don't know nothing. And I'm getting married in like a week, in a couple days. And I don't know anything about women.
Well, hey, as long as you look good, I wouldn't worry about what that number says.
Yep.
That's true.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, for competitive purposes, not looks.
She cares about that Wilkes.
Yeah.
I tell her to load
No,
the
they don't
bar.
have Wilkes anymore.
Well, you still have a Wilkes. They're not using Wilkes. They're using IPF formulas. But
Yeah.
you still have a Wilkes.
Was that a thing at Collegiate Nationals? Did they change from Wilkes to the new thing?
I don't think it was just Nationals. I think it was all of USAPL. But before they used to base the Wilkes total off of your actual Wilkes point. Now they're just basically taking it off of your IPF formula. I don't really understand how that formula works.
No, it just means that if you have the same total of someone else in your weight class.
Yeah, the lighter guy gets it.
Yeah, the lighter guy
But
gets it.
load the bar.
Yeah, I don't know much about that formula since it's new. I don't know a whole lot. Hey, Marshall, what's you got any competitions that you have your mind on after this one? Or are you just going to chill and enjoy life?
I think I'm just gonna chill for a little while. I was thinking about doing Raw Nationals this year, which I would still have to put on, a significant amount to my total or drop a weight class to qualify. But I'm going to be getting married in September, so that kind of threw a wrench into those plans. So I think there's not going to be any more competitions this year. But probably something around like February, March of 2020. It's probably going to be the next time I compete.
Okay. Yeah, that marriage life, man. There's so much stuff I have to get done between now and not this Friday, but the next Friday. I gotta get so much stuff done.
Get her done.
I know. I'm falling behind.
Well, Marshall, how'd the rest of the team do at Nationals?
There was no team. It was just
really?
me. I had one other guy that he was planning to go, and he had qualified and everything. But about a month or two ago, he just decided he didn't want to. So he's still young though. I think he's a sophomore, so he's got 2 more years that he could go. And next year, I think it's going to be a little bit closer, a lot less of a drive. So.
Thought y'all were gonna roll up in that thing with like 10 people.
No, not this year. I wish we had that many people.
FIU rolled in with about 18 people. You guys had?
I think it was 19, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, that's a pretty good chunk of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had one for almost every weight class except. Yeah. Almost, except for like a 47 for the girls.
So did you actually know them, like on a personal level, or did they just went to your school?
It's a club, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how they do it, but they don't offer like scholarships or anything like that.
Did you guys have any equipped lifters?
No, we did not actually.
I was surprised by how many. I think I'd try it. I don't know if I would want to do it at a big national meet like that, just because I think the warm up situation would be rough. I feel like you need a lot of extra time.
A lot of space.
Yeah, so I'd love to try it, but I don't think I would do it outside of like a local meet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why people do it. Like, why would you? I mean, I guess for like safety reasons, but for that, just don't do it.
That goes back to longevity as well.
Yeah.
Save your body and do.
Yeah, but then it's like you're like, if you, I don't know. I feel like people take away your success as an equipped lifter just because you're geared all over.
Yeah, it's a different ball game. It's like it becomes a crazy technique sport. You got to find the groove in all the suits.
It's a whole nother podcast, is what that is.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's almost like you're doing the same 3 lifts, but it's almost like a different sport.
It really is.
It's so
Yeah,
different.
was there a guy that fell that he was the equipped lifter? Yeah, there was a guy that fell
Oh, yeah.
really bad. I don't know if you want to give more details. I don't know, Marshall. Did you see it more up close?
I wasn't there when it happened, but I saw the videos right after. Yeah, well, so what I heard from the guy is he unracked the bar and he walked it out, but I think he didn't lock his knees out all the way, so they made him re-rack it and take it out again. And he said that he had it too low on his back when he unracked it the second time.
Yeah, that's
So
what
when he
I
was
saw.
getting out, he was calling for him to take it, but I guess they didn't hear him or they just weren't paying attention. So it just kept slipping and he ended up falling over.
Oh man.
Yeah, it
And
looked
they
he
just
low barred it like really low. That's what I saw, because he dropped it like not too far after, like from the start of his lift, from what I saw. So I was like, oh wow.
But what he said is that after that they kicked him out of the meet because of that.
Really? Wow.
Really?
That was what he said. Now, I'm not sure what's accurate because I heard from someone else that on his next attempt, he dumped the bar. So I'm not entirely sure what the real story is, but I know that he didn't continue in the meet after squats.
Huh.
Well, if he did get kicked out, it was probably for dumping the bar on his following attempt. Because
Can't
at
be
the
dumping the
USPA
bar.
meet, that was one of the things. He's like, if you decide you're gonna drop the bar on one of my lifters and you let go of that bar, you're out of the meet. So if he did dump the bar, that was probably the reason why.
Yeah, I was actually
Yeah.
nervous for squats because I tend to do that a lot in practice, like training. I don't let. I mean, especially this one person. I don't. It's hard to trust the person that they're gonna get me up. You know.
She says that, and the person that gets her up is right next to her. And I spot all these 240 guys squatting 455, and I got to catch them. But she'll just dump 265 in my arms. Like, yeah, here you go. Catch.
Oh man.
Yeah, you need to get out of that habit.
Yeah, you can't be dumping
Yeah.
bars on Richie here. Richie's gonna break his bicep or something.
I've actually done it at 2 meets, and it was
Oh.
USAPL. So I was
She got
surprised.
lucky.
Yeah, I was surprised that they didn't kick me out.
Well,
Yeah,
this
you
prep-
gotta break that
Yes.
habit.
You gotta
yeah,
stay
this
with it
prep, what
unless you
I
think
told her
you're.
to do- so this prep, what I told her to do was just to stay, especially in her warm-ups, just stay in the pocket, just stay in the hole a little longer. Just basically pause squat it, as long as you can, just to get that habit of coming down with the bar and not actually letting it go.
Yeah, so this time we went for a small last attempt. So I fell on, like, without realizing. So I was like, oh, wow, they grabbed me right away. I was like, damn, I feel like they took my lift. And then I looked at it again. I was like, oh, no, I fell. I, like, went down already. So, like,
Yeah.
so I didn't drop the bar. So that was good.
Progress.
Yeah, progress. PR.
Progress. Yeah, that's dangerous when people start dumping the bars. That just injures a lot of people.
Hmm.
That's
Dangerous.
one thing I think I've appreciated about monoliths and meets that actually use monoliths. Because remember, the monoliths do have the straps, or in some cases the chains. So yeah, you got your side spotters and your back spotter, but at the end of the day, if they miss the bar, it's still hanging about 3 feet off the ground, so it's not really falling on nobody. But
Yeah.
USAPL has those standalones.
Yeah.
I always get nervous, these big guys, especially in your weight class, Marshall. You guys are squatting 5+, right? So you're squatting up there.
Yeah, it gets
You
a little
slam that weight
sketchy.
you slam that weight into the rack. I've always felt like it's gonna go forward.
I've never had a problem with it, but then again, I'm not really squatting that much. It's everyone else in the weight class that is.
I mean, if it's heavy to you, it's still squatting a lot. you know.
Yeah, for me, where it gets real sketchy is the real heavy equipped guys. You know, if you got 800-900 pounds and you're in a suit and knee wraps that can't maneuver real well, that's where it gets really sketchy, I think.
Do they double up their spotters?
Yeah, they require, I think it's anything above 500 pounds. They require 5 spotters, so one on the back and two on each side.
Right. Okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah, that's smart. But I mean, I agree that like when you get up there, I mean they are people at the end of the day. I mean, it would be kind of nice if there was like some hanging suspension or something like that to kind of catch, but it's hard to rig that up when you have those standalone racks.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not exactly sure how you even do it.
There was also one guy on Sunday. Dude came out. He went to take his, I want to say it was his second or third attempt at squat, and he stuck. He got stuck pretty low, and he was grinding it. He was shaking it. His whole body was shaking. Once he came down. They just like he said, he had 2 spotters on each side, one on the back. They couldn't get the bar up, and the guy basically like passed out, and it was pretty crazy. It was cool though that somebody ran in.
I think we spoke about that already.
No, this was a different guy. The guy we were talking about earlier was the one who fell backwards. This was the guy that he passed out, and they had to drag him out from under the bar.
Oh, I thought we were.
Oh,
talking
whoa!
About that guy.
Yeah.
They had to drag him out from under the bar?
He didn't really drag him out. Like, he just, once he let go of the bar, 2 extra spotters came, so it was 3 on each side. They were getting the bar up, and the dude was basically laid out on the ground for at least a minute or 2.
Yeah, I think what happened was that when he went down, the spotters were trying to lift him up, and he didn't want to come up, so he stayed down. So they're like, yo, you need to like let go of the bar at this point if you're not going to come up. So somebody had to grab him out of the bar so everybody could lift up the bar back into the rack.
I think the biggest problem I saw was that all the side spotters were trying to spot the bar. But really what you need to do is you need to spot the weight, because if you try to grab the bar, it's just going to spin on you.
Yeah.
So you've got to get your whole arms around it.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about side spotting.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a trick. It ain't much, but there's a little bit. Hey, so what did y'all do anything else exciting while you were up there? Like, y'all go any cool restaurants, any cool entertainment?
Honestly, there's nothing there. In Ohio.
There's just nothing.
Not in Ohio, in Columbus. I mean.
Yeah, in Columbus.
I think the most exciting highlight of our tour was going to the Rogue store.
And posing to the Arnold statue.
Oh,
posing
yeah.
Yeah.
I think those are the 2 things that every single person at that meet did.
Yeah.
We went to the Rogue store, and we went on Friday, the day before she competed, and I was like, all right, maybe I'll get Brian and Liz something. All right, cool. I walked in. I promise all I wanted was, maybe 1 or 2 shirts, a book bag for me. We walked out $300 in bags. It's like, oh, man. And I didn't even get everything I wanted. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let's just go to Main Street. Let's just go eat. So we found a couple nice little hole-in-the-wall spots. So we picked out.
Yeah, but I looked at y'all's pictures and Marshall's pictures. That's a pretty cool looking place.
That Rogue store was paradise.
Hey, so is there like a line for that Arnold statue? Is there a line of people just waiting to pose next to it?
When we went, no, there wasn't. People were just actually sitting down around it like it was nothing. That's how you know that they're like locals, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
Come out of nowhere, and we try to mimic the same pose. They're like, "Oh, hey guys, you want a picture together?" It's like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah, if that thing wasn't even there when we were taking our people to the Arnold.
Oh, like a while ago.
Yeah, we used to take a team every year in the early 2000s. So it's been a while. I think that statue's only been there for maybe 5 years tops, if even 5 years. It hasn't been there long.
I always thought it was much bigger. I've always seen it in pictures, so I wanted to go. And now that I'm actually next to it, like it wasn't as big as I was expecting it to be. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty accurate.
Also at the meet, there was a lot of people selling shirts and equipment. So if you literally forgot your bag at home or something, you could literally buy everything you need there.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure they're all paying USAPL a pretty penny too.
I thought it was gonna be more like food, little boots here and there, not like clothes.
To be honest, I think each booth just had a one buy-in price because I remember one of my buddies did it for his shirt company. He basically had to pay like a $500 fee, and then he makes his profit. The only good thing about buying it there that I did notice though, if there weren't no discounts or nothing like that, you were just saving sales tax and shipping, but everything was full price.
Well, I guess they got to make money somehow.
Right?
Yeah.
There, a lot of those booths, they were selling a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So were they selling
think-
like knee wraps?
Except for Slingshot, I think I don't think I ever saw a single person at the Slingshot booth. I felt kind of bad for him.
Well, it was pretty funny now that you mentioned that. We walked up to the Slingshot. She's like, "Oh, babe, look, the Slingshot booth." And I walked up, and I had the new Slingshot the Slingshot performance shirt. And she's like, "Hey, man, nice shirt." And I was like, "Huh, what?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I looked down. She's like, "Oh, it's a Slingshot." I was like, "Oh, yeah." But I had bags from every booth. And I guess since I ordered from them all the time online, I didn't really get none from them. But I'm like, oh, I'll say what's up.
Yeah, for each lifter they gave 15% off, like to order online. Like they gave us a little discount thing there. But yeah, nobody went to them. I guess I don't know.
I think the only vendor I did not get anything from other than Slingshot was A7. But yeah, I think everybody took a little bit of my money.
It sounds like it. I think you're supporting half of Columbus right now.
You get a 5, you get a 10, you get a 20.
Man,
you won the lottery.
That's funny.
Well, Marshall, I'm about to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
So I've been trying to get these guys to come up to an Iron Boy. So I want to hear your best Iron Boy pitch.
Oof.
Hello?
Oh, I'm here.
Your best pitch for Iron Boy powerlifting. Why they should come to a meet.
2 words. Knee wraps.
Your
It's great.
just does sleeves?
Just
Yeah.
sleeves.
We do sleeves.
Okay.
We do sleeves.
But you could do wraps. It's so much fun.
It is fun. I've never gotten used to
But
it.
isn't that considered equipped at that point?
No, that's just raw. That's still raw. Just wraps.
Oh, is it a different federation?
Yes.
No. Yeah, but either way, wraps still ain't.
Because there's
Yeah,
no
so-
like raw classic at USAPL or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess USAPL was like, we're doing knee wraps. But yeah, Iron Boy you can put on the wraps and you can wear a belt and wraps for squats. So
Which,
It's
if
a
you
good
just
shot.
want to wear your knee sleeves, that's fine too. We have a lot of people that do that actually.
I like
I
being
think
the underdog.
Guy
What can
actually
I
did
say?
that last time I was there.
Well, the technology has gotten so much better with those things. It's not that bad to wear just a knee sleeve.
that's true.
But you always get a little bit more pop out of them wraps, though.
So I'll tell you what, guys. All right, you guys are trying to get me out there. After this meet, when you guys doing your next meet? What do you got for maybe early next year?
Next year, like 2020 next year.
Yeah.
You guys
we
do
run,
a February meet every year, right?
yeah, in
The
February
one
we
at
always
the one
have
in
a,
Morganton.
yeah, we have a full power meet in February. Then the next full power, which is usually one of our biggest meets, is what we're actually running this weekend. We have a full power meet in April. And then the next full power after that is in August, which is South Carolina, the one I told you all about. And then our national meet is always in October. So we run about 4 full powers a year.
I'll tell you what. Let me get nationals out of the way, and I'll definitely come up there at the beginning of next year. And
Hey,
maybe
Whoa.
we could
Hey, now.
convince Marshall, since Marshall told me knee wraps. I'll keep it simple with one word. I'll keep my sleeves on, and we'll throw it down on the platform, man.
hey,
I'm super
Ooh, it's
game for
on.
that.
yo,
Let's do it.
It's
Hey.
on.
hey, Richie 165 too.
Yeah, buddy. I'm a light boy. I'm one of the small guys.
Y'all need to come get these elite numbers.
I want them, and I think I got them with no problem. But I can't sound too cocky. I gotta humble myself.
Yeah, or else you'll be like Marshall.
Ooh, that hurts.
Hashtag ball
Just
mouth.
kidding.
Maybe I need to cut all the way down to 165, and then we'll see who's
and
totaling
then you'll
more.
be stronger.
Let's do it, man. Hey, I try to bulk up to your weight class, but unfortunately, I eat 5,000 calories, and I'm still like 170 pounds. So
Hey, y'all can meet at 181 though, in the middle.
yeah, I'd have to put on some weight. I'd have to eat a lot of food, but I think I could do it.
But then your total is gonna be higher. Your qualifying total.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean that will change, but
I mean,
You'll
at
be
that
fine.
weight, I think I'll also be pulling a little bit more, squatting a little
Yeah,
more.
that's true.
Well,
181 sounds great to me. That sounds like an easy water cut,
Lucky you. That's a lot.
especially
of
with those.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a food coma for him.
Especially with those early weigh-ins. That's the other thing. USAPL, you have to weigh in 2 hours before. But Iron Boy, they've got it all set up the night before, and you can you can end up cutting a lot more weight that way.
You guys got what? 24-hour weigh-ins?
yeah, we'll do 24 hours, so you can come in Friday night if you lift on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like doing it like that. That's one thing I've always liked about USPA, because I'll usually do it the other way around. I'll use that 24 hours. I'll weigh in as fast as early as I can, so I have more time to eat, get some of my weight back up.
Yeah. So you're not gonna have that this time around if you're gonna do USAPL.
That seems
If
like a
you
lot of
still wanna
work
do
though.
it.
They weigh everybody in the morning before the competition.
Yep, 2 hours before.
Yeah, especially at nationals, it was crazy. Weigh-ins took a while.
Oh yeah.
Man.
I mean, not a while, but
Weigh-ins were at what? 7, I think it was 8, and then the equipment check was
7?
right before that.
I don't know why y'all like it, man. It just sounds like they run you through like cattle all day.
Man, this is my first time going USAPL. I can't say I like it yet. So far, my experiences as a spectator haven't been all that, but I'm up for the challenge.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm excited
maybe
to
you
see
need
what
to
y'all do.
actually experience it.
But I like deadlifting on a deadlift bar. Me and stiff bars, they have a love-hate relationship.
Hey, that's another thing. We use the same bar for all 3 lifts.
Yeah.
You too? You guys too?
Yeah, we
So,
use
stiff
Texas Power Bar.
Texas Power Bar all the way around.
Yeah, we used to use the specialty stuff, but then we started running so many meets a year, we couldn't make sure that every single meet had the same amount of equipment. So we just went back to one bar.
So Iron Boy is a federation itself.
Yes, Iron Boy Powerlifting.
Okay.
We've been running since 2001.
So, what are your women's records at right now?
Well, let's see. What weight class did you say you were in, Lisa? Like in
63.
pounds?
Oh, in pounds?
Yeah, we don't mess with those kilo stuff. We're American.
I range from like 132 to 135. So if you could find a
Okay.
weight class between them.
It'd be 132.
Yeah.
So let me just check and see what the elite numbers are. We'll go straight to that.
Yeah, we don't. That kilo stuff is rough. So I guess y'all have they give you a conversion chart to where you pick your kilos and.
Yeah. I always,
But the
I kind of
problem
know it
is,
by now.
We get to jump, 5 pounds or 2.5 pounds. If you jump 2.5 kilos, it's not always going to be 5 pounds. It'll be a 7-pound jump. Instead of being a 15 or a 20-pound jump, it'll be like a 19, like an 18 and a half, 19 to 21, 22.
Yeah.
So it kind of messes with you.
No.
So our 132 elite for women's is 710. So you've already got that. And then 148 is 780.
And what's your number one spot holding total?
We've had 3 women hit 132 elite, and Brittany Shackelford has a 745 total at 132.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like right there already.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I could convince her to come in with us.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All three of you, Team Doc's Powerlifting, needs
With
to
a
come up here.
24-hour weigh-in, that would be nice.
That's what I'm saying.
I've done only one federation that was a 24-hour weigh-in. It was really nice. I liked it. It was my first federation. My first meet, sorry.
And the
And
other
after
thing that
that-
makes a difference, is the pound plates. Like Timmy was saying, they do everything in pounds. So with those pound plates, you get a little bit extra thickness versus the kilos, and it really makes a difference on deadlifts, I think, especially if you pull sumo.
Yeah.
It's not a huge difference, but it's definitely there.
Do you feel like that difference is in your favor or against you?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it helps. I think it helps a
Really?
lot.
I think
it's the other
Yeah,
way
because
Yeah.
with the bars, with the plates being thicker, it moves the center of gravity out, and you end up with more bend in the bar. So if you're able to really pull the slack out on sumo, then you can have a higher start position.
True.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like the more narrow it is, the better, because I failed a couple of my higher numbers a few weeks prior, so I was getting a little nervous. I even failed 300 with the pound plates, and then I ended up getting it at the meet because it was thinner.
I
So-
feel like I understand your concept as far as the whip, and it does give it more whip because it is a longer, I guess, a longer amount on the ground. But I feel as if when you have the kilo plate, since it's a little bit more narrow, there's less whip on the bar. It's easier to stay tight. I've always felt like kilo plates move faster, at least for me.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it really just depends on how you lift too. Like for me with conventional, I don't really get a whole lot out of it. It feels a little bit different, but I don't feel like it helps all that much. But really, in the end, it's just kind of the same as a deadlift bar, just not quite as whippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. When I pull an Iron Boy, I don't get like if you pull conventional, I don't really get nothing. There's not really much there. Now, like someone like Don Craig, who's like a sumo wizard, he might be able to pull some slack out of the bar a little bit more. But
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm conventional when I've competed, but I don't get a whole lot. But all right, guys. So let's. I got one question to ask each of y'all before we wrap this thing up. So the question is, I'm getting married. Not this Friday, but the next Friday. And so we've been asking. Sometimes I forget, but we've been asking people for marriage advice. So, Marshall, what's your best marriage advice for me?
You gonna ask the people that ain't married?
Yeah.
So is this supposed to be like bad advice then? Because I don't know anything?
No, it's whatever. You can give me
He's
whatever
just curious
advice.
what unmarried people would say.
What's the advice you would give yourself, Marshall?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I need advice from someone who's not myself.
Well,
Come on, Marshall.
Best marriage advice.
What kind of advice are you looking for?
Hold on. I've got to phone a friend. Give me a second here.
all right. All right, Richie, you got away with words. What's your advice?
I mean, as you saw, I'm the lover boy, so I'm always gonna tell you that, keep the woman happy. But honestly, just be able to talk, man, to communicate. Communicate everything.
Yeah.
You're basically asking her to spend the rest of your life with you, So it's safe to say you got to communicate and trust that person.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I totally agree.
I'll just give you a good advice that men need to hear more often that I feel like they neglect a lot. Just listen to your wife. She's always right.
Not always, but
No, even when she's wrong, she's always right. Just don't fight it, because if you fight it, you're gonna prolong the fighting process, and then you're not gonna get lucky tonight. So
I'm not going to get any action.
yeah, so you better just tighten up and just be like, all right, baby, you're right.
I swear they use that against us all the time. They put us between a rock and a hard place with that one.
Did you phone your friend, Marshall?
But I'm not married, so
Yes, I've consulted with the other half. We have an answer. So the advice is, if she says that she doesn't want anything to eat, she's lying. So get her food anyways.
I think that's true.
All right. Hey, we
It's
got
confirmed.
Safe than sorry.
Lisa approves. She approves.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, guys, thank y'all for coming on the podcast.
No problem.
Anytime, man. Thanks for
It
having
was
me.
nice
Of
meeting you
course.
guys.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah. I'm
meeting you too.
glad everyone can come on in. Glad y'all had fun. Marshall, I wish you got a better call, but it is what it is. But
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
we'll
He'll
keep.
learn to lower his opener. That's the lesson.
Yeah, Mark, why don't you just open at 135 next time?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm probably still gonna get called for a soft lockout.
Yeah. Just do the bar and then go straight to 500.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for this episode of Check My Total Podcast. Remember, this is the only podcast where we don't allow soft lockouts in any area of our lives. No soft lockouts when doing laundry, no soft lockouts when cooking the steak, and no soft lockouts when you're about to marry a woman. None of that stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you listening to the Collegiate Recap with the Marshall Powell, the president of UNCA Barbell Club, and the one, the only, Richard. And let's see here, Casco Roto?
Yes, sir. Casco.
All right. I'm telling you, this Spanish stuff, I struggle with it. I'm really bad at it. And then we have Lisa competing, did great. Looking forward to seeing what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Stay classy, stay active, don't get fat, and eat a couple Twinkies for me. We're out of here.
We're out. Up next is the IBP Tar Heel State Powerlifting Championships in Belmont, North Carolina on April 20th. For more details about the competition, go to ironboypowerlifting.com.
Please subscribe and thank you for listening. Be sure to follow at CheckMyTotal on Instagram for all the latest updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Don't get fat, but eat a Twinkie.
Yeah.
You know me. I don't think when I say this stuff.